Good day, beautiful people. Kumusta naman kayo? Anyway, we will take a look at your ketone bodies today. Okay, and so still chemical examination of urine, and we will take a look at your ketone bodies. Please note that your ketones or your ketone bodies, they identify three intermediate products of fatty acid metabolism. Okay, which are you have your acetoacetate or your acetoacetic acid, your beta hydroxybutyrate or your beta hydroxybutyric acid, and your acetone. Please note that these are or your ketone bodies, they are incomplete products of fatty acid metabolism. Because again, the complete products, I mean the products of complete fatty acid metabolism are carbon dioxide and water. Again, the products of complete fatty acid metabolism are carbon dioxide and water. Okay, and so why then that fatty acids or why then that ketone bodies are produced? So please note that when the body, again, sabi natin earlier, there is not enough carbohydrates to be utilized. Okay, and so your ketone bodies are produced. Okay, and so when the body doesn't get enough carbohydrates, how? Okay, and so how? Of course, the body will utilize the secondary source of energy, which is your fats or your fatty acids. Okay, and so, but then going back to your insufficiency of carbohydrates. Okay, and so the insufficiency of carbohydrates is either caused by there is not enough carbohydrates present. I mean, there is not enough or a sufficient amount of carbohydrates that is taken in by an individual. Okay, and that happens during prolonged starvation. Okay, okay, or there is enough carbohydrates present, but the body cannot metabolize it. Okay, or but the body cannot metabolize it, like in cases of diabetes mellitus. You have more than enough carbohydrates, you have more than enough glucose, but then your body cannot metabolize glucose because it cannot enter the cell. Okay, and so because it cannot enter the cell. Okay, and so yes, what happens then? Again, of course, if the body has not enough, I mean, has no enough carbohydrates or cannot metabolize carbohydrates, what will happen? Okay, it will use other sources of other sources to produce energy. Okay, and yes, your primary source of energy is carbohydrates. Okay, glucose. And then secondary source, you have your fatty acids. Okay, of course, the body will shift it will shift to using fatty acids for energy. Okay, and please note that if fat metabolism increases, okay, if fat metabolism increases, or there is a significant increase in fat metabolism, the body produces excess ketone bodies. Okay, and so again, if there is a significant increase in the metabolism of fats, please note incomplete metabolism will produce ketone bodies. Okay, if there is a significant increase of fat metabolism, what will your body do? I mean, what will happen? There will the body produces excess or the body produces ketone bodies, and if the significant increase in fat metabolism persists, then it will cause accumulation of ketone bodies in the blood. Okay, it will cause accumulation of ketone bodies in the blood. And yes, I always tell you this one. Anything that is increased in the plasma will appear almost always in the urine. Okay, anything that is increased in the plasma will appear or will be reflected in the urine. And yes, in case that there is an excess or accumulation of ketone bodies in the blood, okay, it will cause appearance of ketone bodies in the urine, which is known as ketonuria. The presence of significant amounts, detectable amounts of ketone bodies in the urine is termed as ketonuria. Your ketone bodies, they are intermediate products of fat metabolism. Okay, they are intermediate products of fat metabolism. Again, when the body, okay, and so has no sufficient or uh, has no sufficient carbohydrates or cannot metabolize carbohydrates, it will utilize other sources of energy like fatty acids. Okay, and yes, okay, and so increase ketone bodies, okay, in the blood, and yes, increase ketone bodies in the blood will cause an increase ketone bodies in the urine. So, production of ketone bodies is seen in cases of increased carbohydrate deprivation. Okay, carbohydrate deprivation, again, in severe or prolonged starvation and decreased utilization of carbohydrates. Yes, you have enough carbohydrates, but then you cannot utilize it. Okay, and so that is seen in cases of diabetes mellitus. Again, that is seen in cases of diabetes mellitus because again, yes, you have more than enough carbohydrates present in your plasma or in your circulation, but they are not utilized. They are not utilized. Okay, and so they cannot enter the glycolytic pathway. Why? Because they cannot enter the cell. Okay, they cannot enter the cell due to the absence or defects in insulin. Okay, pakitandaan po that your insulin, it is not involved in the glycolytic pathway. It will only promote the entry of glucose into the cell. Okay, it will only promote the entry of glucose into the cell. Okay, and yes, okay, and so the three ketone bodies that we have mentioned earlier. Okay, you have your beta hydroxybutyric acid, okay, which accounts for 78% of the total ketone bodies, acetoacetic acid, and acetone accounts for 2% of the total ketone bodies. Please note that the amount of each ketone body in the blood varies with the severity of the condition. Okay, it varies with the severity of the condition. However, again, the average distribution of your ketones in the serum and urine are okay. And so your beta hydroxybutyric acid is 78%, your acetoacetic acid is 20%, and your acetone is 2%. Again, that is the average distribution of ketones or ketone bodies in the urine and in the serum. Okay, and so still, okay, predominant your beta hydroxybutyric acid. Okay, and so but then itandaan po that your beta hydroxybutyric acid is not detected by your routine test for ketone bodies. Okay? And so, yes, please note that your ketone bodies, they have what you call as your renal threshold. There is this renal threshold for your ketone bodies. Okay, if the renal threshold for glucose is 160 to 180 milligrams per dl, for your ketone bodies, it is 70 milligrams per dl. Okay, and so it is 70 milligrams per dl. So, when the blood concentration of your ketones, okay, and so when the blood concentration of your ketones exceeds 70 milligrams per dl, then, okay, the remaining will be excreted in the urine. Okay, and so again, please don't forget po that the what you call this that your renal threshold for ketone bodies is 70 milligrams per dl. Okay, and so when okay the plasma levels of your ketone bodies okay exceed 70 milligrams per dl, then the ketones are excreted in the urine. Okay, the ketones are excreted in the urine. Of course, again, okay, as what I've said earlier, your beta hydroxybutyric acid here, your beta hydroxybutyric acid is not detected by your methods. Okay, your acetone, this one, acetone can be detected if glycine is added into the test method. Please note po ha, that your acetone is detected if glycine is added into the test method. And yes, most of your okay, and so methods in detecting ketone bodies, I mean, they react only with acetoacetic acid. Okay, and so they react only with acetoacetic acid. Okay, and so yes, for your ketones, again, so formation of ketones is seen in diabetes mellitus, in cases of vomiting. Okay, and so that will cause carbohydrate deprivation, okay, exercise, starvation or severe prolonged starvation, and malabsorption. Malabsorption because there is not, I mean, you are not absorbing the enough glucose or carbohydrate need. The clinical significance of testing ketones. Okay, and so this testing urinary ketones, this one actually is most valuable in the management and monitoring of type 1 diabetes mellitus. Again, testing urinary ketones is most valuable in the management and monitoring of type 1 diabetes mellitus. Okay, and so please note that okay, and so if there is ketonuria, again, ketonuria means there is increase or there is the presence of significant amounts of ketones in the urine. If there is ketonuria, it implies the presence of ketoacidosis. It implies the presence of ketoacidosis. Bakit ba kasi? Why is it that there is an increased or there is a detectable amount of urine or there is a detectable amount of ketones in the urine? Because there is an increased amount of ketones in the circulation. Okay, so with that being said, ketonuria implies the presence of ketoacidosis. Okay, and may provide a warning of impending coma. Okay, and so may provide a warning of impending coma. So probably, okay, if ketoacidosis is not managed, then what will happen next is diabetic coma. Okay, what will happen next is diabetic coma. Okay, and so diabetic ketonuria. Okay, and so it's seen in cases of ketoacidosis, and yes, it may imply or yes, it may provide a warning of impending coma. Okay, and so again, as what we said earlier, okay, and so ketone bodies develop. Okay, and so when the body cannot metabolize or when the body has no enough glucose or carbohydrate or when the body cannot metabolize glucose properly, as in cases of insulin deficiency. Okay, in cases again of insulin deficiency, you have enough carbohydrates present, you have enough glucose present, but then the glucose is not converted into energy or it is not utilized, it cannot undergo glycolysis because it remains outside the cell. Okay, insulin is not enough or there is no enough insulin that will promote the entry of glucose into the cell. Okay, either that there is a defect in insulin production or there is a defect in insulin receptors. Kasi, okay? And so, yes, ketonuria. Okay, with that being said, ketonuria is an early indicator of insulin deficiency. Okay, and if there is ketonuria, ketoacidosis can ketoacidosis can progress. Okay, ketoacidosis can progress. Okay, and so yes, just a quick rundown about your uh, about your ketone bodies. Again, when the body cannot utilize carbohydrates, okay, and again, carbohydrates, that is your primary source of energy. What will it what will it do? Okay, or yes, when the body cannot utilize carbohydrates present, it will shift to your second other sources of energy. Or when the body has not enough, okay, when the body has no enough carbohydrate or has no enough glucose, which is seen in cases of severe starvation, okay, the body will utilize other sources of energy. And your secondary source of energy is fats or fatty acids. Okay? And so, but then for in case of diabetic ketonuria, kasi, okay, you have enough carbohydrates, you have more than enough carbohydrates, but then you cannot metabolize it. You cannot uh, you cannot metabolize it. You cannot produce energy out of it. Okay, because it stays outside of the cell. Say anyway. Okay, and so in such cases, the body will burn fats or the body will metabolize fats. Okay, and yes, if persistent, okay, and so if the metabolism of fat is persistent, it will produce large amount of ketone bodies or keto acids. Okay, so again, your keto acids, your ketone bodies, you have your beta hydroxybutyric acids, you have your acetone, and then your acetoacetic acid. So, if the fat breakdown is persistent, okay, what will happen to your ketone bodies? It will cause an increase. There will be an increase in ketone bodies. Okay, there will be an increase of ketone bodies in the blood. And what will it do? The increase or the buildup of ketone bodies in the blood will lower the plasma pH. It will cause the plasma to be acidic. And normally your plasma is 7.35 to 7.45, and that is slightly alkaline. Anyway, it will lower the plasma pH and will lower bicarbonate volumes, bicarbonate amounts. Okay? If that happens, your body needs to remove ketone bodies. Okay, yes. So nangyari, there is you already have a hypersmolar plasma due to the accumulation of glucose. Kasi nga, you cannot utilize glucose. They accumulate in the plasma. So you have hypersmolar plasma. Dinagdagan mo pa ng ketone bodies, naging hypersmolar pa siya. Okay? So what will your body do with this excess ketones, with the ketone bodies and the glucose? So kailangan po it needs to excrete. The body needs to excrete this excess glucose and ketones. But in doing so, your body will excrete large amount of water to excrete your ketones and excess glucose. Okay? Again, to remove or to clear out excess glucose in the plasma and ketone and to remove excess or the ketone bodies, your body needs to excrete large amounts or large volume of water which will lead to dehydration and major electrolyte loss. Okay, please note that this dehydration and electrolyte loss will cause the feeling of polydipsia. Okay, it will cause the feeling of polydipsia. Okay, and yes, this one should be corrected. Okay, and so it should be corrected. But then if it is not corrected, and the imbalance will progress or in the imbalance is persistent, then it will progress to acidosis and may lead to diabetic coma. Okay, and so if the keto if the amount of ketone if the amount of ketone bodies and the increased blood glucose levels is not corrected, then okay, it will progress to acidosis and may lead to diabetic coma. And for your information, nangyayari po ito. Okay, and so sooner when you will go to the hospital, yes, you will see individuals. Okay, and so who will come presenting diabetic, who will come to the emergency room and they present signs and symptoms of diabetic ketoacidosis. And minsan nga, okay, and so right then and there, okay, and so diabetic coma na din ang nangyayari. Anyway, okay, and so you have your non-diabetic ketonuria. You have your non-diabetic ketonuria. Okay, and so non-diabetic ketonuria, it is seen in infants and children with acute febrile disease, okay, or toxic states, which is accompanied by vomiting or diarrhea. Please note that what we call this inherited metabolic diseases should be suspected when there is severe persistent neonatal ketosis. Okay, please note that inherited metabolic diseases should be suspected when there is a severe persistent neonatal ketosis. Okay, and so what else? Non-diabetic ketonuria, you have your uh, hyperemesis in pregnancy. Hyperemesis in pregnancy. This is your severe nausea and vomiting during pregnancy. Okay, and so severe nausea and vomiting is somewhat your early morning sickness sa mga buntis accordingly. Okay, and yes, this can lead to weight loss and dehydration also. Cachexia following anesthesia accordingly. Cachexia is a wasting syndrome accordingly. Okay, and so it is a wasting syndrome, of course. Okay, and so cachexia is a wasting syndrome. Okay, and so which causes significant weight loss and loss of muscle mass. Okay, again, it is characterized by abnormal weight loss and muscle wasting. Okay, and yes, occasionally, ketonuria is seen in patients with hyperthyroidism, and yes, again, so still occasionally it is seen, ketonuria is seen following exposure to cold or severe exercise. Okay, nabanggit po natin ito earlier. Okay, ketonuria may be caused by strenuous exercise, or ketonuria is occasionally seen in cases of a low carbohydrate diet. Okay, and so there was this time in the past wherein nauso ang ketogenic diet. Okay, and so wherein nauso ang ketogenic diet. Okay, and so ketogenic diet is a low carbohydrate diet which is utilized for weight reduction. And yes, okay, and so occasionally your ketogenic diet or low carbohydrate diet will produce ketonuria also. It will produce ketonuria also. Just to sum up your causes of ketonuria, you have first is your inability to utilize available carbohydrates. And yes, one very good example for this one is diabetes mellitus. Okay? And then your insufficient carbohydrate consumption, which is seen in starvation, okay, severe exercise, cold exposure, alcoholism, okay, acute febrile illness, what else? Okay, ketogenic diet. Diyan po siya magfo-fall in insufficient carbohydrate consumption and loss of carbohydrates seen in frequent vomiting. Okay, and so in hyperemesis in cases of pregnancy, ganyan. Okay, illnesses. Okay, and so wherein vomiting is one manifestation. Okay, defective renal reabsorption of glucose. Okay, defective renal reabsorption of glucose, and of course, carbohydrate, I mean digestive disturbances. Okay, and so yes, let's take a look at your lactic acidosis. Lactic acidosis, okay, and so this one is seen in cases, or lactic acidosis is associated with diabetes mellitus, renal failure, liver disease, and infections. Okay, and so accordingly, in lactic acidosis, acetoacetic acid and 3-hydroxybutyrate may be both highly elevated. Okay, and so again, in cases of lactic acidosis, acetoacetic acid and 3-hydroxybutyrate may be both highly elevated. Okay, but then usually in lactic acidosis, I mean 3 hydroxybutyrate is increased while acetoacetic acid is low. Okay, and so while acetoacetic acid is low. In such cases, accordingly, in lactic acidosis, yes, again, there is acetoacetate and 3-hydroxybutyrate. In such cases, ketonuria may not be detected by the usual nitroprusside test. Okay, and so may not be detected by the usual nitroprusside test. Okay, and so other causes of lactic acidosis, it is seen in response to certain drugs like fenformin and salicylate poisoning. Okay, as for the normal value of urine, okay, and so for some references, they say that ketone is usually not found in the urine. Okay, ketone is usually not found in the urine. Okay, because metabolized fats are completely broken down to carbon dioxide and water, and there should be no ketone bodies. Okay, and so metabolized fats are completely broken down into carbon dioxide and water. But then, in cases of incomplete fat metabolism, okay, ketone bodies are produced. And normally, dapat daw wala. Okay, and so yes, you have this urine ketone excretion is about 20 milligrams per day. Okay, and so for some references, they say that your urine ketone excretion rate is about 20 milligrams per day. 20 milligrams per day. Okay, and so but then normally no ketone should be found in the urine. Yes, let's take a look at your laboratory determination of ketone bodies. Okay, and so please note that all the three ketone bodies are present in cases of ketonuria. Again, all the three ketone bodies are present in cases of ketonuria. They are present in the urine. Okay. With that being said, methods that indicate that the presence, or yes, methods that indicate the presence of any of the three ketone bodies are generally enough to detect the condition. Okay, and so methods again that detect the presence of any of the three ketone bodies are generally enough to detect the condition. But, okay, they are enough to detect the condition. But then, okay, and so it is not, okay, it is not representative. Okay, it is not representative of the total amount accordingly of ketone bodies. It is not representative of the total amount of ketone bodies present. But then, okay, it is enough to detect ketonuria. Anyway, first here is your acid-test tablet. Your acid-test tablet. Okay, and so this one relies on nitroprusside reaction. Okay, acid-test tablet relies on nitroprusside reaction. Okay, sodium nitroprusside is the main reactant present. Okay, and so it is a tablet. Okay, so what is present in the tablet? You have sodium nitroprusside, glycine, and disodium phosphate. Lactose is also present. Okay, and so in the tablet. Okay, again, the acetate tablet contains sodium nitroprusside, glycine, disodium phosphate. Okay, and so that is your alkaline buffer accordingly. Okay, and lactose. Your lactose here is added for better color differentiation, accordingly. Okay, and so before I forget, please note that your acid test tablet is a confirmatory test. It is a confirmatory test. Okay, it is a confirmatory test. And yes, your acid test tablet. Okay, and so the samples. Okay, and so that can be utilized in acid test tablet. You can utilize urine, you can utilize plasma or serum, or you can utilize whole blood for this test. Okay, for your acid test tablet. Okay. So what is the expected result? Please note that if acetone and acetoacetic acid are present, the tablet will show a color varying from lavender to deep purple. Okay, and so if acetone and acetoacetic acid are present, the tablet will show a color varying from lavender to deep purple. Please note that acetate tablet, it does not detect beta hydroxybutyric acid. It does not detect beta hydroxybutyric acid. Okay. I think I missed to mention this one. Okay, in the biochemistry of ketone bodies, please note that your acetone and beta hydroxybutyric acid, both of them, they come from acetoacetic acid. Both of them, they come from acetoacetic acid. Okay, your conversion of your acetoacetic acid to acetone is irreversible, while your conversion of acetoacetic acid to beta hydroxybutyrate, or yes, it is reversible. Okay, it is reversible. Okay, you remove carbon dioxide from acetoacetic acid to produce acetone. And then you add two hydrogen to acetoacetic acid to produce hydroxybutyrate. Okay, to produce 3-hydroxybutyrate or beta-hydroxybutyric acid. Okay, and yes, in case in acetase tablet, balik po tayo. In acetase tablet, your beta-hydroxybutyric acid is not detected. It is not detected accordingly. Okay, it is not detected accordingly. No? Okay, and so, yes, what happens here? Okay, what happens here in your acetate tablet? Okay, and so as we said earlier that you can utilize urine, serum, plasma, or whole blood as your sample in this case. Okay, and yes, before I forget again, this is a confirmatory test. Okay, and so yes, procedure for your acetase tablet, you put 1 drop of urine on the tablet. You put 1 drop of urine on the tablet accordingly, of course. Okay, and so in a clean sheet of, yes, in a white sheet of paper, or yes, or in a clean sheet of paper, white paper, you place your tablet. You place your tablet there, and then put 1 drop of urine on the tablet. Put 1 drop of urine on the tablet, and you read after 30 seconds. Okay, you read after 30 seconds. If you utilize serum and plasma, okay, and so put 1 drop, okay, on the tablet and read after 2 minutes. If you utilize whole blood, okay, you put 1 drop, okay, and then after 10 minutes, you remove the clotted blood, and then you read. Okay, and then urine. Of course, again, color reaction, lavender to deep purple. Okay, of course, deep purple as the positive result. Deep purple as the positive result accordingly. Okay, and yes, it is reported. your acetate tablet is reported into, is reported as, your acetate tablet is reported as negative, small, moderate, or large. Okay, so negative, small, moderate, or large. And please note that acetate tablet, the sensitivity or detection limit, it can detect as low as 5 to 10 milligrams per dl of acetoacetate or acetoacetic acid, and as low as 20 to 25 milligrams per dl of acetone. Okay, 20 25 milligrams per dl of acid. Yes, okay, and so 20 to 25 milligrams of acetone per deciliter of urine. Okay, and so yes, as per what we call this, as per uh, ano na to, as per interferences. Okay, as per interferences, your levodopa or your L-dopa, as well as large amounts of phenylketones and bromosulfoxafine, as well as phenolphthalein. Okay, and so dyes will react with the alkali in tablets, giving you positive result. Okay, and so levodopa and large amounts of phenylketones, you have your PSP dyes, and BSP dyes will react with the alkaline tablets, giving you a positive result accordingly. And yes, please note that, okay, acetate tablet is very sensitive to humidity and will deteriorate if not stored properly. Okay, acetate tablet is very sensitive to humidity and will deteriorate if not stored properly. Okay, that is your acetate tablet. And yes, sabi niya po dito, it is 10 times more sensitive to diacetic acid than acetone. Okay, 10 times more sensitive to diacetic acid than acetone, 5 to 10 milligrams per DL. Anyway, you have your Rotheras test here. Okay, and so your Rotheras test, this is your test tube nitroprusside method. Okay, and yes, this one is sensitive to acetoacetic acid at about 1 to 5 milligrams per DL of acetoacetic acid. And for acetone, 10 to 25 milligrams per DL. Okay, and so your nitroprusside ring test. Okay, and so test tube in a test tube. Okay, and so production of violet or purple ring kasi ang positive result ni neto. Okay, and yes, you have your Gerard test. Okay, and so or your Gerard's ferric chloride test. Okay, and so this one is used as method for measuring acetoacetic acid. Okay, and so of course it will react with the sample will react with, or the ketone body will react with ferric chloride. But then please note, okay, that this method is not very specific to ketone bodies. It is not very specific to ketone bodies, and you have a relatively low detection limit or low sensitivity value. Okay, and so you have 10 to 20, 25 to 50, 25 to 50 milligrams per dl ketones. Okay, this is the detection limit or the sensitivity value. Okay, and yes, okay, it detects acetoacetic acid only. And okay, and so interferences, the ferric chloride method or this Gerard test, okay, will give a positive result with salicylates and L-dopa. Finally, mga sis, you have your reagent strip test for ketones. Okay, and so the principle employed for this one is your sodium nitroprusside reaction. Okay, And yes, your acetoacetic acid in an alkaline medium will react with sodium nitroprusside to produce a purple color. Okay, to produce a purple color. Okay, and so for your chem strip, okay, for your chem strip, it has a glycine. Okay, and so, and yes, if glycine is present, the method will detect acetone. Again, if glycine is present, again, if glycine is present, the method will detect or can detect acetone. Okay, and so in case of chem strip, the reagent strip contains sodium nitroferricyanide and glycine. And yes, it will react with acetoacetic acid and acetone in an alkaline medium to form a violet dye. And yes, in chemistry, the positive result is indicated by a violet color. Originally, it is a big going to violet. Okay, and it's red at 60 seconds for your chem strip. It is red at 60 seconds. As for the sensitivity value, 9 to 10 milligrams per dl acetoacetic acid and 70 milligrams per dl acetone. Okay, and so yes, it is more sensitive to acetoacetic acid than to your acetone. Okay, and yes, this one is read at 60 seconds. And then you have your multi-sticks. Multi-sticks, of course, it contains buffer and sodium nitroferricyanide, which, of course, it reacts with acetoacetic acid, producing a pink maroon color in 15 seconds accordingly. That is for your multi-sticks. And okay, the multi-sticks reagent strip can detect 5 to 10 milligrams, as low as 5 to 10 milligrams per dl of acetoacetic acid. And it does not react with acetone. Why again? There is no glycine present. There is no glycine present. Okay? And so acetoacetic acid plus sodium nitroprusside will produce a purple color. Okay, so yes, in the reagent pad, what is embedded is what is present in the reagent pad is sodium nitroprusside. Sodium nitroprusside, a buffer, and glycine if the brand is Chemstrip. Okay, and so of course, it is the pad is buffered at an alkaline pH. Okay, the pad is buffered at an alkaline pH. So what happens really? Okay, and so yes, okay, and so if you dip, of course, okay, and so if you dip your pad into a urine sample, okay, and so the alkaline buffer will create the alkaline buffer present in the pad will create a basic or an alkaline environment. Okay, and so this alkaline environment will cause the ketone body, or in this case, your acetoacetic acid to what we call this, yeah, to lose a proton. Okay, and so, and yes, the reaction will take place. Okay, and so the reaction will take place. A positive result is indicated by a purple color. A positive result is indicated by a purple color. Negative if the original beige color is retained. Negative if the original beige color is retained accordingly. Okay, and so yes, of course, still, okay, and so you need to read. Okay, and so or compare, okay, in the color chart, comparing the color chart. Finally, you have your interferences here. Okay, false positive reactions, they are seen after the use of phthalate dyes. You have your sulfobromophthalate or phenol sulfophthalein dyes. Okay, presence of large quantities of phenylketones will cause false positive also. Your preservative 8-hydroxyquinoline will produce a false positive also. L-DOPA and its metabolites will produce a false positive result. Acetylcysteine will produce a strong red color. Okay? Antihypertensive drugs. Okay, antihypertensive drugs will produce, I mean, like methyl dopa and captopril will produce also a positive, false positive result. And your chemotherapy adjuvant, known as mercaptoethane sulfonate sodium, okay, will also give a false positive reaction. Of course, red urine. Okay, and so red urine will give you a false positive reaction. Why? Okay, your positive result, it will in what do you call this, it will stain, okay, the reagent pad. Okay, magkakaroon po ng violet or coloration sa reagent pad. Okay, and so in such cases, again, medications with free sulfhydryl groups will cause a false positive reaction. Okay, will cause a false positive reaction. False negatives. Okay, and so loss of reagent reactivity, improperly preserved urine samples. Okay, and so because it will cause volatilization of the ketones. Again, ketones are labile. Okay, bacterial action, both in vivo and in vitro, will cause the loss of acetoacetic acid, causing a false negative reading. Okay, so I guess that's it for your ketones. Thank you so much. This has been Gael, reminding you to live fully, love deeply, love often. Keep learning and never forget to enjoy the ride. And as you move forward, may you always choose curiosity over fear, kindness over convenience, and growth over comfort. And yes, you celebrate your small victories, you honor your quiet moments, and trust that every step, no matter how uncertain, shapes the story you are meant to tell. The world is wide, your time is precious, and your journey is uniquely yours. So go make it extraordinary. Thank you. Thank you so much, and see you around.